Hey YouTube. We are in the dark, but we're playing a game. We play this game all the time. I'm a bit of a mood reader, but sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed by the sheer volume of books on my TBR. So Scotty prepares for me a knockout. I'm allowed to give him parameters, and we've got a buddy read starting soon. So one of my parameters is length of novel this time. And he picks out some books, and then we play knockout. Are you ready? Are you ready to see what I'm going to read? He's not right.
I didn't understand what you'd done.
I paused it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is
it's a knockout. I've already explained. Come on, where's my book?
Except instead of me showing you the books, I'm going to read you the first paragraph of each book.
He's changed the game.
I have changed the game, yeah, because we play a different game every time. So you're not allowed to see what the books are, and you've got to pick between the first two paragraphs.
All right.
In October 1876, a 16-year-old Joseph Theodore Conrad Kwasinski. Sorry. That's not the start of the book.
Oh. That sounds like.
And that's author's notes. Oh my god. You're through 50 pages just on stuff that isn't the book.
Yay!
Are we ready?
Yeah.
The Nelly, a cruising yawl, swung to her anchor without a flutter of the sail and was at rest. The flood had made, the wind was nearly calm, and being bound down the river, the only thing for it was to come and wait for the turn of the tide.
I mean, it gets bonus points because it's about a Nelly. Don't know how I feel about boats.
Don't know how you feel about boats. So we've got a boat in it. We've got a Nelly in it.
Yeah. Okay. What's it up against?
So it's up against this one. I feel like Booktube doesn't know either. I've kept it a secret from Booktube.
Ooh, sneaky.
I stand at this window of this great house in the south of France as night falls, the night which is leading me to the most terrible morning of my life. I have a drink in my hand. There is a bottle at my elbow. I watch my reflection in the darkening gleam of the window pane. My reflection is tall, perhaps rather like an arrow. My blonde hair gleams. My face is like a face you have seen many times.
My face is like a face. Your face!
I was just like, my face is like a face, what? It's not good writing. Anyway, my ancestors conquered a continent, pushing across death-laden plains until they came to an ocean which faced away from Europe into a darker past.
Do I have to pick?
Yeah,
Is it my turn to pick now? I want book 2.
You want book 2?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to tell you what you picked between.
Just tell me what I rejected. Because otherwise the next round isn't blind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to do something different for the next round.
Oh, okay.
So, you had Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And when you spoke about turning towards Africa and describing it as a darker place,
yeah,
you actually knocked out Heart of Darkness and picked Giovanni's Room.
Yes.
All right. Close your eyes or look away.
Close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. What?
In the eyes of prosperity, nearly every great man is stabilised at one's age of life. The Byron of legend is a handsome youth of 1812, not a fully grown man, prematurely aging with thinning hair, whom Lady Bessington knew. Tolstoy is a shaggy old peasant with a broad grizzling circle. Wait. No, this makes no sense.
It's nonsense.
This is not the book. This is you got a bonus book in this novel.
I got a bonus
You
book
got
in the
a
book.
bonus book in this novel.
I love a bonus.
So it starts on page 17. Oh, I should tell you. So it starts on page 17, and you've got 120 pages in this one.
Mm-hmm.
In the castle of Baron Thunder Ten Tokrik in Westphalia, there once lived a youth endowed by nature with the gentlest of characters. His soul was revealed in his face. He combined rather sound judgment with simplicity of mind. It was for this reason, I believe, he was given the name Candide. The old servant of the household suspected that he was the son of the Baron's sister by a good and honourable gentleman of the vicinity, whom this lady would never marry because he could prove only 71 generations of nobility, the rest of his family tree having been lost owing to the ravages of time. I mean, you might know what that is now.
That might be Candide.
So, let's see if you pick Candide, which has a bonus short story about Tolstoy in it.
No, do you love Tolstoy?
Let's see if that beats this novel.
The dog is licking my ankle.
You could knock him away.
It's weird.
Ready?
Yeah.
It was Napoleon who had such a passion for chickens that he kept his chef working around the clock. What a kitchen that was, with birds in every state of undress, some still cold and slung over hooks, some turned slowly on the spit, but most in wasted piles because the emperor was busy.
I want the chickens.
You want the chickens? So obviously you've rejected Candide.
Not intentionally. It's not my fault he came up against the chickens.
He came up against the chickens. And you've selected The Passion by Jeanette Winterson.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Ready. Yes, we do this without you often. This is our relationship because we're nerds.
All right.
All left.
I'm going to change the names here.
Oh, so I don't.
So you don't
reject Candide again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll read you the first paragraph again and I'll blot that name out and I'll see if you...
See if I notice.
Our lady has developed an unhealthy obsession with slugs. She is in the garden for breakfast until the one show, finding the beggars and pouring salt on them. She likes to watch them die, keeps her eyes peeled as they shriek, curling in on themselves until they resemble, well, dead slugs really. I was never one for smiles. A dead slug is a dead slug in my book, and you can bugger off, and you can beggar off trying to tell me otherwise. What do you think of that one?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
All right. It's up against. The class of my old professor's life took place once a week in this house by a window in the study where we could watch a small hibiscus plant shred its pink leaves. The class met on Tuesdays. It began after breakfast. The subject was the meaning of life. It was taught from experience.
No,
slugs. It's not slugs.
Slugs. Killing slugs with joy. Come on.
Killing slugs with joy. Okay. Oh, do you want to know what you rejected?
Yeah.
You rejected Tuesdays with Maury. You selected Our Doris by BookTube's Charlie Heathcote.
Ooh, Charlie, slugs.
You accepted it with relish too.
It reminded me of my bestie. Her Her dad, she used to call him when we were teenagers, she used to call him the snail Nazi because he used to wait until it was a bit wet outside and go out and stomp on the snails in his garden to protect his garden from the snails. And he would like crunch, crunch.
Okay. We're ready. Book 1.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs do not ever really sleep. Sometimes they close their eyes, often for long periods at a time, but always there remains one or two watchful in the dark. And while these are so, the pack can be considered to be awake. They lie on their side, and their ribs rise and fall with their heart. Their tongues hang out and collect the dust. They stroll, and the chains come after them, making an irregular music. Occasionally they meet in swift and snarling collisions, the noise worse than the damage done. They do this simply to relieve the boredom. Their night vision is good, and they follow the activities of the night, the travelling of the moon. Nothing alarms them enough to make them bark. Morning brings them to their feet.
Pooches.
Dogs. Now, dogs is up against the last one. It was the last letter in Irene Redford's little pile of morning mail. After other ordinary and clearly directed letters, the long envelope of thin Italian paper with its almost illegible scroll seemed out of place and alien. And then there was, too, something mysterious and slightly furtive about it. A thin, sly thing which bore no return address to betray the sender. Not that she hadn't immediately known who the sender was. Some 2 years ago, she had one very like it in outward appearance. Furtive, but yet in some peculiar determined way a little flaunting. Purpling foreign paper of extraordinary size.
I like that better than the pooches.
You like that better than the picture? So you've rejected Sleeping Dogs by Sonia Hartnett, which looks like you bought a long time ago because it's got a very darkened and dirty...
Yeah.
It's got a price tag on it, and this will mean nothing if you're not Australian. It's got a price tag on it. It's got a phone number on the price tag, and it is a 7-digit phone number and not an 8-digit phone number.
I actually suspect that I inherited that book. I suspect that it's from my grandmother's bookshelf.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it was bought from Little Book Room, 03 813 1441. I don't know where that would be.
813 is city. So what have I got?
So you've got to pick between Nella Larson's Passing, Our Doris by Charlie Heathcote, Giovanni's Room, or The Passion. So, do you want to knock any of these out?
No, I want to read all of those.
You want to read all of them?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do the first paragraph from chapter 2.
Okay.
Maybe I should do the first paragraph from a random point.
Maybe you should do the first paragraph of 112.
Some of these might not have 112. Let's do the first paragraph.
Yes, nice and short.
Let's do the first paragraph of 56.
Okay. That's half of 112.
It is. I didn't do that deliberately.
Yes, you did.
We laughed together, both caught in the stinging, teasing sort of game. We reached the Boulevard Sestapol. We reached the Boulevard Sebastopol. But we will not any longer discuss the painful subject of how you desired to desert Giovanni at so dangerous an hour in the middle of a hostile city. I began to realize that he too was nervous, Far down the boulevard, a cab meandered towards us, and he put up his hand. "It will show you my room," he said. It is perfectly clear that you would have to see it in one of these days anyway." The taxi stopped beside us, and Giovanni, as though he was suddenly afraid that I would really turn and run, pushed me in before him. He got in beside me and told the driver, Nation. So that
It was clearly Giovanni's room. Because it both said Giovanni and it talked about his room.
both said the word Giovanni and the word room, didn't it? Right, this one may not have a 50. Oh wait, it does. It may not have a 56.
This is passing.
Oh, that's a very short paragraph.
Go.
I don't know what else might be down there.
That's very intriguing. I mean, what might be down there? Is it slugs? Is it chickens?
Slugs? Is it chickens? Can I give you a hint? This is either the slug or the chicken book. Maybe I should have put the slug and the chicken book up against each other.
You probably should have. I'm taking book 2. It's more mysterious. And it's either the slug or the chicken book.
Okay, you have knocked out Giovanni's room. Are we ready?
Yeah.
56.
Oh, listen to the dog go huff. No one's paying him any attention.
Claire's face looked strange, as if she wanted to cry again. One of her satin-covered feet swung restlessly back and forth. She said vehemently, violently almost, "Damn Jack. He keeps me out of everything I want. I could kill him. I expect I shall someday."
Oh. Damn Jack.
Damn Jack.
I could kill him.
Okay, and we ready? 56 on the last book.
We're ready. Ready, set, spaghetti.
Again, it's another short one. Our Angela came in from the kitchen and said to me, she said, "What was that all about, Dad?"
I mean, I'd rather kill him than find out what that's all about.
You'd rather kill him?
Yeah.
You just got rid of our Doris.
Oh no! The slugs!
The slugs. You're disappointed.
I suspect that our Doris has crept up out the lineup after the slug incident.
Yeah.
I...
It's about, has Charlie done what all authors do? Write a really good opening passage.
But how is he to know about the snail Nazi? Like, I don't know if the slugs appeal to everyone.
I mean, at this point, you've got a choice between passing and the passion. Do you want to just overrule it and go for the slugs, or do you want to continue the game?
No, I think I want to read the passion.
You go for the chicken book.
The chickens!
There we go. Nell, you're going to read some Jeanette Winterson.
So that's how I make decisions when I don't know how to make decisions.
So now you're going to read Jeanette Winterson this weekend, and you're going to tell everybody what you thought about it to see how this went for picking.
Yeah, for sure.
So
sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. So we'll see.
But it's a good way of, like, your TBR is now approximately 200. Not to mention one of these books is actually on my TBR, not your TBR.
Yeah.
But it's a good way of, like, making it easy to select.
Sometimes I know exactly what I want to read next. But...
yeah, and then we don't do it.
Yeah.
But when you can't make up your mind,
this is
the game we play. And every time we play it, we do something else. So I can just go that one or that one, and Nell will pick instantly.
Yeah.
Without thinking. And or we do a 1-1-2, or
we do a paragraph or a sentence, or Scott does a synopsis.
I will say this book has 148 pages, 149 pages, and is written by a black African-American gay man. right? And then you will pick between
160.
160. Yeah, or this one is written by 192 and is written by a white straight man. And you will pick.
Okay, we're going to go because I've got to read.
You got to read. You got a whole book to read this weekend.
Hold on.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, not bye, because you... Alright, now we're back, and you have just finished reading The Passion, which you are hiding behind. So...
You picked it. Well, I picked it.
You picked it.
The game picked it.
The game picked it. So, was the game successful?
The game was a winner this time. I really liked this. I really enjoyed the writing in general. The Passion centers on two perspectives, Henry and Villanelle, and it's about love and passion and obsession and where those three sort of concepts intersect. And it was funny, and it was vivid. It was beautifully written. Like, it just...
Now, was there as many chickens
vicious.
in it?
There were so many chickens.
There were chickens in it.
So many chickens. So many chickens. Napoleon has a thing for chickens.
Napoleon the Emperor?
Yeah, no, legitimately. It centers around Bonaparte and that sort of the second coming of Bonaparte, that era of the French Revolution.
Of the 100 Days?
No, before the 100 Days. That's the third coming of Bonaparte. Learn your history.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've dog-eared like a brute some of these, some little sections because I didn't have any stickies.
Oh my god, we have some.
Yeah, whatever. They weren't in my hand at the time.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Jeanette Winterson was very...
You heathen.
I am.
Go on,
she
read your
spent
quotes.
pages like building up this man, and I hated him because he was just like completely using his wife. And then she says, "You can tell I liked this man, and I'd be a fool to say he didn't work, that we didn't need him and his optimistic ways. But when she died, suddenly at noon, the light went out of his voice, and his pipes filled with mud, and he could hardly harvest his land, let alone bring up 6 children. She had made him possible. In that sense, she was his god." It just made me feel good. After seeing him achieve all this stuff on the back of his wife, it was just a beautiful end to a little anecdote. So that was one of my favourite bits.
Make sure you keep it dog-eared for future reference.
Yes. Shut up. Stop picking on me.
The dog-earing of books is wrong.
It's fine. It's how I used to keep my place when I was a kid.
Really?
Yes.
Nobody should lend books to you.
No, they shouldn't.
This is a problem for me.
The space from the ground to the dome of canvas was racked with rough wooden cages about a foot square with tiny corridors running in between, hardly the width of a man. In each cage there were 2 or 3 birds, beaks and claws cut off, staring through the slats with dumb, identical eyes. I am no coward, and I have seen plenty of convenient mutilation on our farms, but I was not prepared for the silence, not even a rustle. I really liked convenient mutilation in that, especially as we were heading into lots of war talk, and there is a lot about war and the brutalities of war and what that does to the witnesses and the people who were brutalized and that sort of thing. So that it was just a thing that stuck with me throughout the reading.
And the chickens who were beheaded.
Yeah, also it reminded me of like cage farming and stuff. So like a lot of the really striking things had a really modern comparison that weren't necessarily to do with war, but were to do with brutality or that sort of thing.
Yes. So what she's arguing, what you're saying is she's pointing out that we don't need to go to war to be brutal in today's society.
I definitely think that's one of the things that's running through this book. I mean, I haven't really had a moment to...
Yeah, you've literally just finished it.
I've literally just finished it. I haven't really had a moment to really digest it, but yes, we are brutal to each other, I think, is one of the things. And humans are brutal.
We're not very nice creatures, really, are we?
No. And I really liked this. Do all lovers feel helpless and valiant in the presence of the beloved? Helpless because the need to roll over like a pet dog is never far away. Valiant because you know you'd slay a dragon with a pocket knife if you had to. It's just nice.
Just nice.
So I'm really pleased with this. This was a good choice.
I'm not sure I could slay a dragon with a pocket knife.
You would try for me though, wouldn't you?
I distracted and run away with you. I try and get you a lead.
You're a disappointment. I would slay a dragon with a pocket knife for you.
Would you, or would you get eaten by a dragon?
I would try. At least I would try. And maybe get eaten. I think that's the end of the story.
So Jeanette Widdowson is a very famous LGBT writer. Is there?
Oh, there was lots of gender stuff, and there's a queer character. Yeah.
Any other rep?
No, I mean realistically, there's like the two characters that the main perspectives come from, and there's maybe like 3 other characters that are important in the whole, and really only passingly so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a recommend The Passion by Jeanette Widdowson.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, let us know. What did you think of our game?
Yes.
Do you like to play those silly games to pick your next book? Do you have a...
Would you have
system?
ended up with The Passion?
Yeah.
Or would you have chosen another one?
Would you have disregarded it because of the ridiculous chickens, or would you have picked it up because
would
of the
you be reading
chickens?
Doris or something?
One of the other books that you can't remember because it was a while ago.
But I remember Doris because of the slugs.
The slugs.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm reading next.
That's because we've got a buddy read starting. Well, we've got our first check-in on Monday. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
So you've got to read 70 pages of Ragged Company.
Yeah.
I've got a head start. I only have to read 40 pages of Ragged Company.
Ooh, but better get cracking.
Better get cracking. That's by Richard Wagamies, and we're buddy reading that with Sean the Book Maniac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us know what you thought. Give us a like. If you're new here, subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.